fight for the DREAM Act. I'm here to tell you that this is not the end of the fight, it is just the beginning. This is a matter of justice, and you know it. The students that were brought to the United States as children had no voice in that decision, but they grew up here. The United States is their home, and in America we do not punish children for the actions of their parents. I want to salute Majority Leader Harry Reid. The conversation, the American conversation about the DREAM Act, the chance that we had yesterday was because Majority Leader Harry Reid said this issue is critically important for America. I am not going to let people keep it on the back shelf. We are going to bring out in front of America so that we can have this conversation. And you've seen what's happened, haven't you? Editorials all across the United States and papers that hadn't said a word about the DREAM Act are now saying this is the right thing to do. Senator Reid was right. And I'm here to tell you today that we are going to be prepared as soon as possible to offer the DREAM Act on the floor of the United States Senate again. We are going to bring the DREAM Act to the floor on the Senate calendar today. It will be poised and ready to be called. I am not going to give you any false assurances about days or weeks or months, but I will tell you this. I gave my personal commitment to each and every one of you that I've spoken to. This is in my heart. I want to get this done for all of you and for your families and for the tens of thousands who cannot be here today. I received a letter yesterday from the Secretary of Defense, Robert Gates, talking about the importance of allowing the option of volunteering for our military and how good it would be for the defense of America. And I'm honored today to introduce a friend of mine from back in Chicago days who is out here in Washington as our Secretary of Education. Secretary Arne Duncan is the leader when it comes to the educational policy of the United States of America. He has been committed to the DREAM Act from the beginning, along with President Obama, who was a co-sponsor of my bill in the earliest days and continues to be committed, making certain that this is the only immigration bill the administration to this point has endorsed. Others will be endorsed for sure, but they've already endorsed the DREAM Act. So I'm honored to introduce and to allow to say a few words here, the Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan.
All right.
I just want to start by thanking Senator Durbin for his moral leadership on this and so many other things. And he's right. He's a great friend and colleague from Chicago. But let me tell you, I don't say this lightly, I don't know of a better public servant in this country. This man, on the tough issues, consistently votes with his heart, consistently does the right thing, often the politically difficult, even the politically maybe not so smart thing to do sometimes. But when it's right, he fights for it. And so I want to thank you for your tremendous courage on this issue and on so many others. And I was honored to come from his state and to work with him. This is an issue I've said from day one that I think as a country we just have our priorities fundamentally backwards. When I look at these young people who have worked hard, who have played by all the rules, who have stayed in school, who have got great grades, and they just want to go have a chance to go to college. And to deny young people the chance to go to college makes no sense to me whatsoever. I've said repeatedly, the President said repeatedly, we have to educate our way to a better economy. We need the talents, we need the passion, we need the skills, we need the creativity of everyone who lives in this country. And to say to certain people that because of something you had no control of when you were 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years old, that we're going to deny you that opportunity, I think we do their families and frankly the country a tremendous injustice. This is one that's really personal. He introduced the DREAM Act in 2001. I took over the Chicago Public Schools in 2001. We had a large Hispanic population. We had a sizable population of Hispanic students who happened to be undocumented. They were phenomenal students. They were committed to getting an education, and it was heartbreaking to me, absolutely heartbreaking to see those dreams die due to no fault of the young people themselves. My wife and I actually set up a small, very small scholarship fund to try and help some of these students going to college. But to hear the stories of one young man we worked with was trying to go to school full-time, was working 40 hours a week at a gas station, trying to pay a huge tuition by himself. And yes, we should all work when we're in college, and that's part of the experience, but 40 hours full-time work at a gas station, I didn't have to do that. The senator didn't have to do that, I don't think. And we want our young people to be part of the future of this nation's economy. And so this is one that, again, I just thank you so much for your courage and leadership. Yesterday didn't turn out as we hoped, but this is a fight, and it's a fight we're going to win. And so
That's right.
didn't work yesterday, he's coming right back today. This
That's
is not
right.
one we're deferring for 2 years or 5 years or 8 years. We come right back today with his leadership, and we're going to continue to push very, very hard to see the right thing happen for our nation's young people and for our nation's economy long haul. Where we deny dreams, when we deny the chance to go to college, who are we serving? Who are we helping? Who's the winner? I just fail to see it. So I want to thank all of our young people here for their tremendous commitment to their own education. And let me say one final thing. It's not just the chance to go to college. What I found that was heartbreaking is we had students who are, A students who are doing great, who in their junior year or senior year would drop out of high school because they gave up hope. You never see that. You never see high-performing students drop out. But they were starting to see that there was no road ahead for them. And so it's not just allowing the high school graduates to go to college, it's allowing those 9 and 10, 11, 12-year-olds to know that there's some future for themselves.
That's right.
And we have a dropout rate that's unacceptable in this country. We need to get that dropout rate down to 0 as quickly as we can. And the lack of opportunity is contributing to the problem today. And that has to change. So I want to thank all of you for your commitment to building positive futures for yourselves. And Senator, I want to thank you for your courageous and moral leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Senator Durbin, so much. And I understand that you have a tight schedule, and Mr. Secretary, you'll be able to hang around for a few questions. But I wanted to bring forward some colleagues of mine from youth organizations across the country who both have been organizing for the DREAM Act, but also registering young folks to vote. And so I'll bring forward Lindsay McCluskey, Pico Baker, and then Carlos Saavedra.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lindsay McCluskey. I'm the president of the United States Student Association, and I'm standing here today with a lot of mixed feelings. Obviously, not only the immigrant students that have been fighting for the DREAM Act, but also their allies around the country are disheartened and are hurt by the decision that the Senate made yesterday. However, we're here to say today that we are going to hold the Senate leadership to their commitment to the DREAM Act, and that the rest of the student movement are going to be backing up the leadership that's been provided by all of you, by United We Dream, and by the immigrant youth who have gotten the DREAM Act to where it is today. USSA is engaged right now in a very aggressive campaign to educate, register, and mobilize young people across the country to vote. And we're encouraging them and educating them to vote for candidates that vote the right way on our issues. And young people are not going to forget what happened yesterday. They're not going to forget what happens between now and the election, and are going to be very much informed on this issue. Young people across the country are on the same page about the DREAM Act. We need to make sure that our elected officials are representing that, representing our sentiment. Again, I'm proud to be here today, and just want to say that I'm honored by the leadership that United We Dream and that all of the young folks who've been organizing for the DREAM Act have put forth. And USSA and the over 4 million students that we represent are eager to continue pushing for the DREAM Act to pass in this Congress. Thank you.
Woo-hoo!